A very good morning from Oman. My name is Sanjeev, and I would be the host of the show. I head the sales and marketing of Business Gateways, and I would be leading the show for you today. With me is Mr. Saleh Al Hassani, who most of you know by now. He is the general manager of the OSS investment in the in SEZAD. During this webinar, you would be able to hear the voices of me and Mr. Saleh and no one else. This is primarily done to keep up the sanctum of the overall webinar so that we can continue and deliver to you what we want to share with you today. Mr. Saleh is actually the general manager of investment in the one-stop shop at the SEZAD, the Special Economic Zone Authority of the Duqm, which oversees the entire activity at Duqm, which is a huge, more than about a 2,000 square kilometer range of development that is happening in Oman, which most of you are well aware. And it is also the Middle East's largest project. This is Mr. Saleh, as you can see him on the slide. And the topic that he is going to handle for you is the solution is in Duqm. Now, overall, I'm handing the floor over to Mr. Saleh. He would be handling the presentation from now on. Mr. Saleh, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Sanjeev, for the kind words and introducing me as well as introducing the Duqm project. I must say this is a new experience for us, for me, for the entire team in the Special Economic Zone Authority at Duqm. For those who doesn't know what is Duqm all about, I can tell you this is considered one of the ambitious economic project in Oman. It is in the south of Oman, 550 kilometers away from the capital Muscat. It is in the middle between Muscat and Salalah, who are the familiar with the Oman, location and geography. Currently, we have, a two-way of reaching to Duqm. Either you take the flight between Muscat and Duqm via Oman Air, and it's 1 hour flight, or you drive to Duqm, and that will take you 550 kilometers, which is approximately to 5 hours driving up and 5 hours driving down. Now, when it comes to the prospect of Duqm, the government has basically embarked on this project in 2006. However, that time the government were like having a different approach or the strategy. Now we have changed the entire plan, and that I will take you through during the presentation. So I will be covering the national objectives of the project, the prospects, the location, which we have already highlighted, the business cluster that we have, the projects, the investment opportunity, and perhaps also we will highlight on the ICT or the smart city investment opportunity. Now, when it comes to the national objectives towards the project, it's an economic diversification, sustainable economic growth, securing job opportunity for young Omani, balance regional development in Oman, and of course to increase the contribution of the private sector to the GDP. So this is basically about the government strategy towards the plan or the national objective. Now, for people who will be asking us usually, why should I come and invest in Duqm? Why Duqm? Usually, we emphasize on 5 most important pillars, talking about the location, talking about the relationship of the Oman as country. We talk about the multimodal transportation system, which I'll talk about it in detail. And the most important one is also an ease of doing business and the availability in terms of natural resources in Duqm. In terms of strategic location, Duqm is on the international maritime route outside Strait of Hormuz. And of course, this makes Duqm one of the unique location. And everybody now is looking at Oman from his different perspective. However, Oman is an ideal location for investment because of its location. Now, in terms of the Duqm per se, we are very close to the populated country, very close to the Far East giant, country and economy, close to India, close to Bangladesh, Pakistan. That is where in China. We're very close also to East Africa, close to or on the way to Europe and Middle East, very close to the GCC, which is our neighboring country. So as you can see, we are sitting on three different areas that will allow you to go into different location. It depends on where is your market. Oman has very good relation with the over 140 countries and a member of over 105 regional and international organization. Oman also signed as a country GCC GAFTA. We signed USA trade agreement, free trade agreement, and also we signed similar free trade agreement with Singapore. And of course, we have allowing different investors to preferential access to the different market in the world. In terms of multimodal transportation system, what we are trying to create in Duqm, that we connected Duqm by different mean of transportation. Of course, currently we have the airport. It's considered one of the latest, the newest. Very soon, this airport will be an international airport. Currently is, domestic, catered for 500,000 passenger. It can go to 2 million passengers, and it is basically going to focus on the cargo business. When it comes to ease of doing business, Duqm is independent. We're trying to create what we call good governors, and we have really worked on policies, incentives, and we are favorable of foreign investment, and we created what we call one-stop shop window. That means you deal with us as one entity, and to get all your approvals. You get your commercial registration from us. You get all the visa that you need, all the permits and the required in the area or in Duqm, that you obtain it from Duqm Special Economic Zone Authority. So basically, what we created a small municipal that allow anything that related to the construction, approvals, environmental review, EIA, or any other related matter to the construction or approvals. And we facilitate on your behalf if it's required to really any approval outside the Duqm responsibility. We have a chairman sits on the board, and he's responsible for a Duqm project. He reports to the Council of Minister, which is the first time that an authority reports to the cabinet of the minister in Oman. Usually, an authority reports to certain ministry. So this shows that the seriousness of the government to ensure all acceleration in terms of project, bringing FDI to the area or bringing local investment, and to ensure that the infrastructure project also goes as is being planned for. Duqm is rich in terms of the natural resources. It used to be, and it will continue. The surrounded Duqm is, with oil and gas, and that is where 80% of the Oman production, it comes from Al Wusta Governorate, which Duqm is part of it. Availability of diverse non-metallic minerals such as limestone, silica, basalt, it's available in the area. And of course, the Arabian Sea is rich in terms of fish resources, and most of the fish in Oman or the neighboring country comes from Al Wusta, and especially in Duqm. So this is basically why we really think Duqm is unique, because of its location, multi-model, ease of doing business, availability of non-metallic or natural resources, and of course the Oman international relation with the entire world. So this is basically about that. In terms of location, from the map that as has been indicated earlier, We are on the outside Strait of Hormuz, open sea, very close to the populated country. Transshipment, most of the oil, transshipment past this area. And I think it is very, very ideal in terms of the global trade and, significant location. Economic drivers differentiated Duqm. Duqm has a total area of 2,000 square kilometer. 90-kilometer coastal line makes it the largest in terms of size in the Middle East and North Africa. And it's one of the largest in the world. And of course, we have really massive of land. If we compare, there are countries with, less than 1,000 square kilometer, or, and that's why we feel that Duqm is really, ideal place, especially for large projects, especially, refinery, petrochemical, or any other heavy industry. Duqm also can be a maritime transit hub and a logistic gateway to Oman and the region, because we are facing the Indian Ocean, and most of the transshipment and the transshipment is past that area. An export manufacturing platform based on the availability. We talked about the oil and gas in Duqm. We talked about the minerals availability, and we talked about the fishery. So these are very important three pillars that can really allow different investment, because we have the platform ready for it. And I think this is, again, something that differentiated Duqm. A tourism destination. Duqm used to be a tourism destination. A lot of people goes to Duqm because of the weather. It's always, cooler across the year, and people go there for different activity. People goes there for camping, fishing, exploring different, eco or any other adventure in terms of tourism. We, as Duqm, we would like to see Duqm as an incubator for renewable energy and clean tech industry. So this is basically about the economic drivers about Duqm. When it comes to the logistic advantages or the substantial logistical advantages in Duqm, as we said, we have an airport that catered for 5,000 ton annual cargo capacity. It is only 24 kilometers away from the port of Duqm, and it is 90 kilometers away from the city center. So it is very important to have a really, an airport that is allowing, the movement of goods in and out for Duqm. And of course, with the new strategy of the government to connect three airports, Muscat Airport, Salalah, and Duqm. Multi-lane superhighway connecting all the districts within Duqm. Why? Because we feel that the development expected is going to be really huge between the airport of Duqm, the heavy industrial, and the airport. So we have made ensure that we have super highway line, dual, that will really allow the movement of any good, or the transportation will be smooth. Duqm is also home to multi-purpose support. We are offering range of modern cargo handling facility and services, because Duqm port is a multi-purpose port. All right, in terms of incentive and benefits that we offer our investors, usually it's 100% foreign ownership, and this is usually we offer, the FDI. Zero corporate tax and income tax, exemption from import and export duties, harmonization is only 10%, no minimum capital requirement, and of course, we allow our land on a lease period up to 50 years that can be renewed with a similar period. We mentioned about one-stop shop, and we provide quick approval and procedures, and that, of course, allow us to work smoothly. We have even went extra mile to this. We have set KPIs on us on how we really process the approvals required. In terms of master plan, we have an economic integration where you usually, often you will see a similar setup where we have a different master plan, and it's an economic integration allowing industrial, heavy, medium, light, tourism, logistic, port business, dry dock business, agriculture business, education and training, and of course, central business district and residential. So usually when you go to what they call it free zones, you see either they are industrial or logistic, and hardly you will see this kind of combination. But anyway, the master plan is being really well prepared, taken into the consideration any environmental threats to this kind of industry or business in Duqm. And of course, Oman is very sensitive when it comes to the environment. So we'll take you through the most important project first about in coming, which is the Duqm port. Duqm port is of course, it's a multi-purpose port, and it is planned to go into 3 phases. Phase 1 and 2 is already completed, and the operator of the port is Antwerp from Belgium. And of course, the Duqm port will play an important role to basically allow different business into Oman in general and in Duqm in particular, because we are expecting a lot of export and import business coming in and out. Of course, Port of Duqm has already started in different cargo handling in the beginning, where they had different cargo for different activity, especially in the pipes, oil rigs, construction materials, and heavy load cranes. This is in the beginning, or in the soft business they started. Now, Duqm Port is doing a lot of cargo business. They have a federal line between Jabal Ali, Suhar, Salala, and Duqm. So there are a lot of activities being going on. However, we will see a lot of also development in this regard end of this year and beginning of next year. So once that is Duqm in full swing. The total port boundary is 170 kilometer square kilometer. The most important one is the approach channel and the commercial berth. It's -18, where it will allow the big vessels to come in and without any problem during the maneuvering. And of course, as I said, Duqm will start. It is full capacity end of 2019, beginning of 2020, and that is the time when the refinery, of course, will start, and the liquid bulk will also complete it. Another important project or pioneer project at the moment is Oman Dry Dock. Oman Dry Dock is considered the second largest in the Middle East and North Africa. However, in terms of the technology, it is the state of art. It's basically shipyard where we are having two dock, 410 by 95 and 410 by 80. Of course, these kind of business are very important to the area. And now Oman Dry Dock, or the project, has managed to maintain, repair around or over 600 ships around the world, and they are one of the pioneer and anchor project in Duqm. Their main market is Oman, Greece, India, and some European country. However, they are now into the competition market, and I think they are doing excellent. They will also go into, plan to build ship very soon. Phase 1 and 2 finished, already completed, where they do different activity in terms of maintenance and repair of ship and convergence, which is already been completed. Another important project that we have is the Duqm refinery and petrochemical industry. This greenfield refinery, it's basically located in the southeastern coast of Oman. It's 50-50 joint venture between the state-owned Oman Oil Company and Kuwait Petroleum International KPI. It is the refinery sits on 900, you know, thousand hectares, which is really a huge land north of the port of Duqm. Capacity to process around 230 barrel per day, and of course they have variety of crude mixture, and of course first export refinery in the region. Now the refinery is now under construction, and there are three EPC contractor who are already EPC1 on the ground, and they are already on mobilization. The refinery will really go, for hopefully it will be ready by first quarter of 2020. And during the construction, we expect around 20,000 to 25,000 manpower, which is a huge really during the mobilization and construction. Okay, another anchor project that we expect, called Ras Marquez project. This is located in Ras Marquez, 70 kilometer from Duqm port. The good thing about Ras Marquez is that it has a natural depth of 32 meter when it comes to the water depth, and that is usually, you don't get, in around the economic zone. And that will accommodate VLCCs, crude ships, which is the huge VLCCs. It is going to be considered the largest in the world of oil crude, reserve or storage. It will be strategic and commercial storages, blending facilities, export and import crude oil, offshore facility, able to accommodate any tank size. The storage capacity, it will be going up to 200 million barrel. But of course, the first phase, it will be like 25 million barrel. The EPC already on the ground, and he's mobilizing the plan for phase one. As we said, the feed completed and optimized in October 2016. Final investment decision has been taken in April 2018. The EPC awarded happened last year in July, and we think the commissions will start. It will go up to Q4 2020. So next year there will be different really shape when it comes to the terminal tank in Ras Marquez. Another important industry we feel it is also going to add, and it is extra plus, we think the aquaculture or the fishery business. It's an integrated fishery hub. That's what we are planning to do. In Oman, there is 18 fishery hub, and this is the largest one in Duqm. It will be a commercial fishery harbor and full-fledged fishery industry complex. Now we are building the harbor under construction. We expect the harbor to be ready by next year, 2020. However, we have already started bringing investment in the fishery into different activities, especially the canning, fish meal, fish oil, and export and import business of fish. We have currently 5 investors from Oman, and another one is from India. 2 is ready under commercial operation, and 3 under construction. So we are also trying to bring more into this business, and of course we consider to the local market and adding value to this kind of industry. At the moment, it is not really optimized, utilized in the way that we planned for. So this is basically will create jobs, and it's already started creating job to the local fishermen, and it is created business for the small enterprises, and I think it will really grow in the coming 2 years. The tourism area, of course, it is one of the attraction. Duqm is framed by unique ecology and topography. We have very, virgin beaches. We have sandy beach there. We have migratory of birds. Therefore, we really think it is very important. So basically, we dedicated quite good number of size of land, seafront, to bring the business of hospitality and tourism into different activity in this area. The rock garden is another geological formation allowing us to basically position this part of the business and attracting different people to visit Duqm to see the nature. And this is, of course, a huge mountain exploded million of years ago, and they were different shape of the rock. You may see human being, might see bird, and you might see cartoonist, well known like Snoopy and other, cartoonist in Duqm. So this is an opportunity to basically for people who are interested, because this is an area where we would like to have landscaping and different outdoor activity for the families who are expected to live in Duqm and enjoy the Duqm. For the hotel, we realize that the important that we need to have accommodation for people who are visiting, for families, people who are doing business in Duqm. So therefore, the government constructed one of the hotel, and then now it's been operated by Crown Plaza, and I think they are doing excellent hospitality business for almost 3 years. And another investment is being also done by local investor in Oman, Mohammed Barwani, who built different style, which is the chalet style, and 73 chalets, phase one, and hopefully he will build the Radisson Blue phase two. Now, these hotels are providing 4-star services, and sometimes it is really exceed the 4-star business. And the utilization of the hotel usually it varies. It depends on the different what you call season, and sometimes the utilization also goes into like 100%. We have another small hotel, which is the city hotel in the city, and that is mainly for business men and women who are visiting for short business in Duqm. So this is where it is about the hotel. Okay, with the development that is expected in Duqm, we felt that there is going to be a huge, massive of infrastructure project. Therefore, there will be again a huge, massive of contractors, and these contractors, of course, will have their fleets, and they will have their different manpower coming from different places. So in our strategy, we feel that these people, where they are coming from, they deserve a very respectable accommodation. So the plan was the government to build, but our chairman decided, why should we really, burden the government budget to build? Why we don't allow the private sector to do this on the behalf of the government? So basically, we decided to allow the private sector to build what we call staff housing. And a well-known company in Oman, Renaissance, it's a listed stock market company. They decided to take this opportunity and invest. So basically, they have built full-fledged staff housing in Duqm, which is completed, almost more than 1 year now. Total bed capacity is 17,000. Total investment is 75 million Riyal Omani, and the project sits on a land area of 200,000 square kilometer, phase one. However, they are now intending to go for phase two. Now, The utilization so far of this project is 6,000 plus. However, they are going to be, hopefully soon, are going to be fully booked once the refinery EPC, 3 EPC, start. So basically, as you can see, that Oman is, very keen about this kind of accommodation style, and we don't like to be also criticized by any of the human rights organization. So this project is completed, and now it is really providing a fantastic low cost pricing in Dubai. So now, in terms of another project that it's already now completed, we have a project by a company called Sibasek Oman. It is a castor oil product. The investment mainly from India and partnering with well-known company in Oman. Total area is 40 hectares and investment volume is 1 million and production capacity is about 30,000 ton per year, and 75% of the product is already sold to the Japanese market. This product goes into cosmetics, goes into makeups and different activity. So as you can see, this project will start commercial operation February 2019, which is very soon, I can say. So as on the investment, basically it is picking up, and we expect more of the investment. Another project on the seafront, it is on the tourism with the same Indian investor who is going to build what we call Little India. This investment is about 288 million Riyal Omani. It sits over 600,000 square kilometer of land. As you can see, these are very massive investment, and it will go into different phases. But phase one is almost finalizing the entire structure and drawing, and I think the construction will start Q3 of 2019. And of course, we are welcoming similar project to come into the area. Another project that we have already secured and the land is already leveled, ready to go, and the EPC is already announced, is the bus assembly between Oman and Qatar, and the project name is Karwa. And the project will really produce about 1,000, or the production capacity is 1,000 bus yearly, and it will create 200 jobs. Mainly they are focusing on the World Cup that will take place in Qatar, and of course they also consider the transportation requirement in the GCC country. So this is another project under construction at the moment, and of course it will be ready hopefully by the end of next year. So now part of the Chinese plan, Silk Road strategy, they consider Oman as their destination, and in particularly is Duqm. So they came from Ningxia province to build China Oman Industrial Park. Total investment expected to be 10.7 billion US dollar. Total land they acquired 1,172 hectare, and the total employment expected when the full plan is completed is around 12,000 job. So this is again a massive investment. Where they are coming to invest, they will be coming into the heavy industrial, light, and of course they will build what we call five-star hotel. This is very important project to Duqm, and now they have already started with their headquarter. It is under construction, expecting third quarter of this year their headquarter to be ready. And of course they will start with the light industry, especially in the building material, the mechanical assembly, logistic, e-commerce, commercial and living facility. So they will do different kind of activity in this kind of first phase one investment. Eh, 1 year back, the Chinese, they brought about 10 investment more, uh, almost total of 3.7 billion US dollar. There are many coming into different activity. The building material market project, manufacturing of oil, goods, manufacturing non-metal, composite pipes, high mobility SUV project, the equipment manufacturing base, methanol project, and hopefully power station and steel thread frame, and hopefully the blanket manufacturing. So this is basically 10 projects that it's been already secured by the Chinese in their industrial park. To share with you, audience, the private sector investment, the total so far is 11.2 billion US dollar coming from different countries, and of course from Oman as well. So this is basically the private contribution or private sector contribution investment, plus the refinery, China, Oman China Industrial Park, and various industrial project and commercial project in Duqm. We have three areas of opportunities: PPP, public-private partnership, that is possible, that we can consider. We can talk about power generation and desalination, renewable energy, wind and solar, industrial hazardous waste management, education and training, air cargo facility, new port facility, and new dry dock facility. These are what we can think of, but we can also explore further if there is any interest from serious investor when it comes to PPP. The strategy here, we can go with PPP, BOT, BOO. These are possible investment. Okay, what we have in terms of the ready investment opportunity, we have set of ready investment to go. I will not really go through all in detail because this will take time. However, we have light industrial possible investment. We have medium industry possible investment with land and the size of land, and that land also can be expandable if you think your project need more land. We have also in the heavy, okay, we have petroleum or refinery, minerals, metal, bricks, cement, iron, steel, fabrication. So on and so forth. We have really set of possible investment. It depends on your company profile and where you really think you can invest and which market that you are targeting. Again, Duqm is a greenfield. We're trying to create, a city from scratch. So I think Duqm city is important to create, a local community where you allow different people to come and settle and do different activity in terms of commercial building. We have commercial land that can be also, for the real estate developer to consider. And we have villa complex, and we have office building and office complex. So these are opportunity available for people who are considering. We have land ready to do different activity in the tourism. Apartments, hotel apartments, 4-star hotel, master development complex, and of course 5-star hotel, water parks, golf course, so on and so forth. So there are more rooms and for people to consider. Project status in terms of infrastructure project, we have our airport, as we said, completed, ready to go. Matter of fact, the runway 4 kilometer that we have can accommodate 380 jet can really land in Duqm. We have different nice super highway, and we have very 5-star state of art accommodation style in Duqm. So for those who didn't visit الدقم. The last slide that I have, the ICT or the smart city. Of course, now the world is emerging, the world is changing, and of course now the smart city or the technology is really changing the entire formula when it comes to the investment in this regard. So we are considering, we would like to be the first to consider bringing different investment into this kind of possible or opportunity. Infrastructure development, cloud, fiber, elite technology, R&D, and urban design. These are an opportunity related to the ICT. So basically, this is all about the value proposition of the prospect of Duqm and the opportunity available, the incentive that we have, what kind of project. And as you can see, this is an future project, ambitious project, and also it required all cooperation, and we are doing our level best to ensure that we meet our plan, our strategy, and of course the government supporting us in terms of really continuation of providing finance to ensure that the infrastructure it will really go as it's planned for. So this is all, and sorry to take much time, but because of the really story that I would like you to understand from the beginning to the end. I hope what I have given you or what I said clear. At least it give you the the insight of the Duqm project, and I will be happy to meet with you face and face as you are here in Oman, and we are welcoming you to come to visit us if you are outside of Oman. And we thank you for allowing us to, talk to you. And if you have any special question, I will be really happy to answer them or to communicate with you. I thank you very much for your kind patience and attention. Thank you.
Now, I would like to take a minute and to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to attend this event by the stage. The stage, as you know, is most of you would have read the introduction. It is an online initiative, a platform by Business Gateways, where we encourage companies who have latest technologies or latest opportunities, the government of Oman, ministries of Oman, and even industry leaders and companies, whoever are having anything of value to talk to the JSRS community, you're welcome to connect on the stage. Just send us a mail, and we will put across a slot for you on the stage where you can talk to the interested JSRS audiences. There are three major categories. One is on business opportunities, another one is on FDIs into Oman, and yes, of course, other countries also where we are looking at connected with JSRS. And the third one is on technology, the latest trending technologies which could make an impact, a kind of game changer technologies. These are the broad categories that we have. So any of you who have any kind of an information are welcome to present on the stage, and please stay tuned on the stage because we have a lot of events which are lined up during this year, and we hope that you will take a notice of this and make best use of it. Thank you so much. Now it's on to Mr. Saleh. So Mr. Saleh has selected a couple of questions for which he would be answering now. Over to Mr. Saleh.
Okay, I think the first question was if we want to register in Duqm, so we will be having a different CR for that, or can we be registered with the current CR? The answer is that once you are doing business in Duqm, we prefer that you have a different CR for different reason. Is that for any future claim when it comes to any incentive or any taxation exemption, you need to have a different accounts, and having a branch in Duqm is possible, but the fee is going to be the same whether you have a branch or you have a new CR. So we prefer that you have a new CR for different to make your all future activity and approvals or anything required, it will be better. That is the first question. The Question number two, are there any possibility for Omani company to explore on the metallic and minerals opportunity? The answer is yes. Duqm has created a company or subsidiary company focusing, and mainly their mandate is to explore the mining business in Duqm. So if you are into this business, we will be happy to connect you and hook you to talk to the Duqm Mining and Crusher Company, where they will definitely consider allowing you to explore or do business. The questions raised: what is the possibility for small and medium enterprises, Riyada, to benefit? I can tell you there are a huge possible opportunity. We do have huge contractors, and as per the regulations and laws, that 10% of those procurement project, it has to be given to the small and medium enterprise, Riyada. So of course there are possibility. You just communicate with us and we will guide you to the right way of benefiting. There were a question if we can share this presentation. The answer is yes. For transparency, please check our website. We have all the regulations, all the incentives, and even this presentation can be shared with you. There is a questions. Another question was like, who is the EPC contractor for ODCO? I'm waiting for the answer. It's a Chinese company, but we will, share the name of the company if you wish to communicate with the company. And who is the third EPC contractor on the refinery? It's a company called Saipem. It's from Italy. And of course, if you wish, we can also share their contact with the company if you wish to communicate with them. There are different, repeated questions came. Question was there any airport at Duqm area? Yes, Duqm airport is just a new airport, has been, providing, what you call, it's been in operation for almost more than 1 year, but the official opening of the terminal was happened just, shortly. It was like, last month. For those who are requiring to, invest and would like to, get a land in Duqm, it's very simple. Even if you are not an Oman, go to our website, go into the online investment application, fill in the form. Once you fill the form, send it to us. We will validate, and then the team will communicate with you. There are fee to be paid. Once the fee is paid, we will proceed by the allotment of land, and then we will communicate. There are quite a long list of questions which might not, have time to answer all. But as I said, we will be happy to take all your questions and give you the right answer. And also we can facilitate and connect you to those companies who are outside of our responsibility. You can communicate with them directly. For any further requirement or anything that you feel that it is you need to know about Duqm, please feel free to communicate with us and call us, and we will be happy to cooperate and provide you the all necessary relevant information. Ladies and gentlemen, I really thank you for allowing us and giving me this opportunity to talk to you and present the Duqm project. Wish you an excellent and pleasant day, and I hope that we will communicate in future. Thank you.
Mr. Saleh, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. In fact, this presentation was even more enlightening to us, though we are so close and together. But seeing the presentation is one thing, and hearing it from you is another thing. So, thank you so much for having taken your precious time and giving us these inputs. Thank you so much for taking the time, and please stay tuned on our website to know when the next event of the stage is. And we hope you really benefit out of all these events. Have a good day, whichever part of the world you are in. See you soon.